What's that? The sound of nature, you say? Let's look around. I smell the air, the fresh, crisp air. I think I hear a bird twerping. Tweet, 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 tweet. Do you hear it? And I feel the wind blowing on my arm. And guess what else? I hear the running of the water. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here. My new episode, Spring Fling, is coming on right now. Step into my nature oasis. Hey guys, welcome to the I Can Speak To podcast where everyone can speak. We just speak in different ways. I'm your host, Portia B. So you can follow me at I Can Speak To with a numerical 2 on Instagram, or you can subscribe and follow my YouTube page, which is the I Can Speak To podcast. Hello everyone, as well as follow me on Instagram on my book page, which is the Book Code Club. So guys, I cannot believe, but we are on episode 8 of season 2 of the I Can Speak To podcast. And of course, before we dive into the episode title and the topics, I have some icebreakers and I want to show you guys some books that I recently got. And you're probably wondering why my arm is in a sling. I recently sprained my arm. I was trying to pick up a car battery and move a really heavy table, so it's my fault that I did it. So this is why I'm in a sprain right now. I tried to actually record yesterday, and this is my second time recording because my producer did not check the computer to make sure that it was staying on record. So now we're here again for the second time. So I have to make sure I match the same energy that I had yesterday. But anyway, before we start, guys, I want to show you some cool things I got. So I told you on the last episode, I really wanted the next Junji Ito book. I read Shiver and I wanted Smash. So I was able to get Smashed, which I'm really excited about. And then I also got a couple of books from Goodwill, which was really exciting because they were only $1.99. So I got Little Fires Everywhere, which is, you know, it's on Hulu. It's a TV show now by Celeste something. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. And then I got The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And I heard that this one wasn't that great, but I'm going to try it out anyway and see if it's good or not. And then, love me some Riley Sager. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. He is a great author, and he's one of my favorite for psychological thrillers and things of that nature. So, all for $1.99, and they were Book of the Months. And I'm a member of the Book of the Month Club, so it was cool that I found some at the Goodwill. Did I say a dollar store earlier? I didn't mean to, if I did. But I found them at Goodwill for $1.99, so that was pretty awesome. So, actually, I'm going to put these down here. I'm going to set those down there. And then I also got a little Funko Pop. His name is Chatterer. He's from Hellraiser, which was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. So he's part of the Pinhead gang. So I'm just going to let him sit right here next to the flowers and smell the flowers. Wonderful. All right, so this episode is called Spring Fling. Yeah! And it's all about nature is your language oasis. So I've got some really, really good topic points. And I've got 2 really, really cool activity videos to show you guys. So stay tuned. All right. I already told you follow me. Yada, yada, yada. Here we go. So first, I want to tell you the sign of the day. So we have 2 signs. We have grass and flowers. So grass. And, you know, grass kind of makes sense, you know. Grass waving in the wind. Hello, polka dots and planning. We've got grass. And we've got flower. And these are signs that you can definitely use with your children outside. Grass and flower. All right, so let's dive into our topic points. How can nature nurture language? That's the most important thing. So nature brings inspiration. When we go outside and we've been inside all day, nature kind of preps our spirit up. It gives us energy. We see the sun shining. We feel good. We're walking on sunshine. We start singing that song. We feel the wind blowing. It makes us want to be outside. If it's raining, we feel a little dreary sometimes, or we get sleepy. So nature can bring inspiration. Also, nature provides stories and retelling of events. So when you think about the experiences that you may have had as a child with your family, or maybe your mother or your father, or how you guys used to hike, or you used to go camping or fishing, whatever it may be, when you do those activities with your own children, you can kind of recall and retell those stories to them. Hey, I remember when I was your age, I did this with my parents, yada, yada, yada. So it's ways to just assemble that connection and build that language and have a conversation starter with your child while you're enjoying nature. Also, adventures outside can create songs, chants, and poems. The first thing that comes to my head that I know a lot of kids love is bear hunt. We're going on a bear hunt, and that's really fun. That's something that you can do outside in nature. I make a song for everything, especially in the classroom. If we're washing hands, we have several different songs. It's time to wash your hands. It's time to wash your hands. Time to wash, and a wash. It's time to wash your hands. And we do that over and over again. Some people sing ABCs, whatever it may be. Incorporating a song is definitely a great way to do engagement with your child, especially outside. So just keep that in mind as well. So moving on to the next topic point, I want to talk about ways to encourage or promote language in spring. So obviously when we're going outside, we see that the grass is getting greener. We're starting to see flowers. We're starting to, but pollen's coming out. We're starting to see bees, different insects. They're coming all out. They were hidden in the winter, and now they're having their arrival. So we can talk about all those different things. We can tap into child curiosity and their interests outside. And what I mean by that is basically paying attention to what has our child's interest. So if we're at a park and your child seems to be interested in a butterfly, talking about a butterfly. What's the sign for a butterfly? Telling your child about the different stages of a butterfly and how they're first a caterpie and how they go into a cocoon and then they become a butterfly with these beautiful wings. Now you're incorporating science. You're teaching them a life cycle. You're teaching them language. All those things are building and promoting language for them, and you're doing it outside in the enjoyment of weather, which is really, really good. Also, explore language in a meaningful way so you can ask questions. What do you think about, did you think that it rained last night? What do you think about the grass? How does the grass feel? Why do you think there's mud outside? What do you think rocks are made of? All those type of different things is ways that you can engage in conversation with your child and give them useful and meaningful information. And even if they ask you questions, you may not have the answer right away, but you can promise to look it up later and you guys can talk about it when you get home. So think about those asking questions in a meaningful way. Also, promoting use of the 5 senses. So when we go outside, what do you hear? Do you hear the wind blowing? What do you smell? It smells like it just rained. Do you smell fresh cut grass? Things of that nature. Just tapping in to all those different senses that we have. Touching the mud. Maybe just patting the mud. Is it squishy? Is it soft? Is a rock hard? Is the grass prickly? Things like that. They're very important just to use those senses for children at that age. Even adults, we use our senses outside, and we're aware. Do we hear cars driving by? Do we hear a lawnmower? Whatever it may be. I just heard somebody pass by just now where I live. So we're using our senses all the time when we're not even realizing that. So really tap into that when you're with your child in nature. Also, we can use nature materials to form letters and words. And what I mean by that is just really a quick activity. If you find yourself at a park, maybe you're having a picnic, or you guys have some free time, maybe collecting some sticks and making letters, making an L for ladybug or an A for apple, things like that, just to promote that language and letter learning and also doing the signs for that letter. It's just a quick little fun activity to do and see how, you can be creative with your kids or how they can be creative as well. So those are some topic points I had to just go over: how nature can nurture the language, ways to encourage and promote language in spring, and then also I want to really put emphasis on nonverbal learners. I think it's important to know that a lot of those steps and topic points that I talked about cover for them as well, but I have some extra ones for nonverbal learners. So narrating what you see. It's very important to narrate your day with a child that maybe nonverbal or have any other disability, narrating what's going on, telling them about what you're about to do. We're about to go to the grocery store. We're about to go take a walk in the park. I'm going to pack us some sandwiches. We're going to bring some apples. Telling them everything that you can just so that they can be aware of what's going on. And we do this a lot in the classroom, especially not just with nonverbal children, but our children that have disabilities, our children that have cortical vision impairment, things of that nature, just narrating for them so that they're aware of what's going on. Maybe they don't have the eyesight to see everything that well. So narration is very key, it's very important. And I say it's important for children who are nonverbal is because you're giving them that language input that they need. They may not be able to take it out. They may not be able to output it verbally, but you're giving them that input that they need. Also, pointing out things in nature, using active ASL. It's very important to use signs. That's why I try to put now the signs of the day, making tree and the grass, our flowers. And you can look up all these signs very easily. I just use them as a reminder, as a tool for different topic points and lessons that I go over in the I Can Speak To podcast. Also, I think it's important to do manipulation, feeling, and describing materials. So when you're outside with children, this kind of taps into what I was saying before about promoting the use of the 5 senses. It's important to let them feel and touch and smell and maybe not necessarily taste nature, but just experience those different things, and it gives them a sensory input that they need. So I hope you guys really enjoyed those topic points. And give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to put together our next activity for you. Alright guys, so my first activity I'm going to show you is my Spring Oasis sensory bin. So I want to really reiterate the fact that I got everything from the dollar store. Completely everything. So I'm going to walk you kind of through that. Before I take all this stuff in, I've got some Easter eggs that I've bought. This is a little carrot. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pour some of these beans in I got from the dollar store. And they are pinto beans. And I really chose beans because, it's less mess. And you can use dirt, but like I said, it's just not that big of a cleanup when you use these beans. And you can also pretend that they're seeds. Well, kids can. So what I like to do is scoop a couple of beans into my little potting seed, also from the dollar store. Put a little more in here. And I'm just gonna pop them in around here. And I've also got some other things from the dollar store. I got some leaves. I've already pre-cut them off. I just bought, how they have like a little dollar section of all their like fake flowers and stuff. I pretty much went over there and just took some leaves. Well, not took them, I paid for them. But I bought them and yeah, did that. All right. Put a couple more, so you're starting to see it's beginning to look like a little bit of a spring sensory bin. And I've also got some pretty purple flowers that I'm going to plant right here. And remember that sign? Flower. I don't know where this blue dye came from. I'm assuming, okay, I don't know. Purple flowers. I've got a couple more of those. And then I've also got some yellow flowers. I'm going to put this carrot in here. And I've got some pink flowers. And what I really like about this is the fact of that I can pretend that the child is planting the flowers. I can scoop beans. I can count the beans. I can plant a carrot. Or you can even put some of the beans in here. I'd put more in here, a little more. But I can make a shaker. Now I've got a music shaker too. So I think there's just a lot of fun things that you can do with this. I mean, in general, I feel like I've had a lot of sensory bins where the kids just literally just like scooping the beans and counting them. So now we've got a couple things to talk about in here. And you can even put little treats in there, Easter eggs that you put in here. So I just thought it was really fun, little quick activity. And again, everything was $1. This was $1. My hoe, I got my hoe here. My hoe was $1. Everything's $1. So be sure to try something like this at home with your kids. And I hope you like this one, the Spring Oasis Sensory Bin. And I have one more activity for you, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so my next activity is a cloud experiment. So I've got my thing of water right here. I'm actually just using my NutriBullet cup. And I've got some shaving cream. And also I've got some blue food dye. And honestly, I think this is what's on my hands now that I'm thinking about it. So what I'm going to do is put some shaving cream over my water, and that's going to act as the cloud. Whoop. And basically the blue dye is supposed to give that vision of how rain leaves from a cloud. So I'm hoping that it looks good. My kids loved it at school. We recently did it, so this should be a lot of fun. Alright, let's shake this up. It's really fun just using one hand for everything, you know? Uh-oh. Having some. Okay. Alright. There we go. You know, shaving cream kind of looks like whipped cream. It's not the best cloud, but it's a good cloud. So now I'm going to use the blue food dye and see if we can get some rain up in here. Alright. Here we go. Whoa! There it goes. The rain's leaving. And it's coming down. This is like a thunderstorm, Lord. It's a lot of rain. And, you know, this is awesome. It works perfect because it's a cloud experiment. It's a really good science experiment for kids. It's teaching them how rain can leave a cloud and it goes through the precipitation. You can talk about if the cloud is going to float over the water or if it's going to fall down into the water. We can talk about how the dye is changing the water color, all types of different things. So now as you can see, we have rain water. So I'm glad that worked out so you can see it, guys. Also, again, that experiment, obviously not my NutriBullet cup, but it doesn't matter what kind of cup you use it in, as long as it's something clear that they can, you know, visually see in. Everything's from the dollar store. The shaving cream and the food dye was as well. So that's the next activity I have for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back to the next part of the episode. Alright, so now we're back on the last part of the episode, which is our book pick. So, our book pick is When Will It Be Spring by Catherine Walters. And I really love this little book because it shows a lot of ways just to build language with your child. The bear is basically going through hibernation and he keeps waking up waiting for it to be spring. He's like, Mommy, when can I go back? When can I go back outside? I want it to be spring. So we get to learn about the different processes of nature. We get to learn about hibernation, different insects, different bugs, different weather. So there's a lot of language that you can get out of this book, When Will It Be Spring? And it also shows, just the relationship of the mother and how she was really patient with her little cub. So I really enjoy this book. Again, it is When Will It Be Spring by Catherine Walters. All right, and last but not least, we have the quote of the day. I cannot clap, so I'm just going to clap here. So we have the quote of the day, and the quote of the day is, "Let nature be your teacher." Let nature be your teacher by William Wordsworth. And I think that's really important. When we go outside, we can learn a lot from nature. We don't have to be inside all the time. I know when I was a kid, I didn't want to be cooped up in the house all day. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to go walk. I like to read my books outside. I like to ride my bike. I wanted to go play at the park. So I think that we can really let nature be our teacher and let our child observe nature, be one with nature. Let the curiosity reign free when you take them outside. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, episode 8. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye! Thanks for tuning in to episode 8, Spring Fling. Remember, our quote of the day was "Let nature be your teacher" by William Wordsworth. Don't forget about our book pick, When Will It Be Spring by Catherine Walters.
What you wanna do?